another fantastic weekend of Formula One racing here on the EGL Extreme Gaming League. I'm Tipsy Bob, and joining me on the mic is my trusty sidekick and my good friend, Dad Bats. Covering all the action today, we're going to be covering everywhere from Monaco, Singapore, Abu Dhabi, and Bahrain, all across the world, all across the country. We have a full grid lined up, some of the best talent around the world. We have plucked them from all corners of the earth to give you some of the greatest racing experience footage you'll ever see in your lifetime. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the EGL. There we go, and all the cars are all lining up on the grid. They're all getting ready. The drivers will be focusing on their first corner. Are they going to take it? What are they going to do? Is it going to go deep? Are they going to go? Who knows? Let's take it out. Away we go! DRS is still active, and if Timo wants to get this moved on, he's gonna need to use this DRS zone, because I have a feeling... Oh no, Timo comes under the pressure in this action zone. I tried to mount up another overtake on 1P3 trademark. This is round 3.
And Timo are oh, it's not bad. Oh no! Oh my god, this so sorry, control myself. So Timo
I wouldn't be gonna penalty too, so they can stand at the back together again. Just like Timo likes it.
How many times did you see how many times Timo tried to get into the pit?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again. We're back for another round of SLR, this time Season 5. And joining me in the commentary booth today is none other than Inferno Koi. Everybody,
hello.
Yep, everybody say hello. And yeah, we're just entering into the lobby now. So we've got China in front of us. We have some special news. We have a special guest joining us here in the commentary booth. It's none other than Crimsonium, who I believe wants to make an announcement live on air.
Yes.
No pressure.
So, no one at all. So hello from my side. Hello to everyone, and to whom, if someone already read in Tier 3, you have to read that I have announced my retirement today. After some really sleepless nights, I just thought I don't know. I was near tears as I wrote this, because I love this leech so much, and it's the only one I raced ever in, and it's just a big step to just go out and not racing again, because it just was a big part of my life so far. But yes, I don't thought the day would come so early, and yes, I'm going to retire.
Yeah, well,
Can't-
we're sad to hear that. I saw the announcement during the week there in Discord, and you could see from all the other drivers their response to it. It was,
Yeah,
yeah, it was pretty sad to
just-
see you go. But it is a big commitment every week. You have to put in the hours, and if you can't put in, some laps, it's really, unless you want to drive in Tier 4. But it is a commitment. It's 20. Is it 21 or 22 weeks now of racing you're committing to? So.
I think 22 it is.
Yeah, 22. It's like almost it's pretty much half a year you're dedicating yourself
Mm,
to a full
yes.
season. So yeah, I mean enjoy the break, man. I'll be interested to see you come back. You were the champion last season. Hopefully you get to come back and fight again for that title.
Yes, so I hope, but I have to say I also want to change a few things. So, as you know, I'm driving with a keyboard, and as I see more and more my pace on the keyboard, I think it is faster on keyboard, but it's definitely not enough for to keep up with the guys. I mean, they're so fast. I mean, last race in Bahrain, who was behind me? I think Motocrosser was behind me, and he was so damn fast, and I really, it was really just pure work to keep him behind. It was just, I don't know, it was just unbelievable to keep him behind. And
yeah,
well,
here we have a live session here, so I'm eager to get to that. As are the guys in chat. They're about to riot. So I think that the final question is: are you going to do? Is it the last race then tomorrow?
as I said, I don't going to race this year. So my last race was last week, I guess. Well, no, it wasn't. It was 2 weeks ago. I'm not going to race tomorrow because I have no time for that, obviously. And I will just take a break and let's see what happened, make some changes and stuff like that. So it was the last race this season, unfortunately, but if there are the opportunities, I already told I'm coming back. So it's not it's not a final retirement. It's like Kimi Raikkonen or Michael Schumacher coming back, and I think it would be the same to me. And if anyone have questions about the stats crew, so I'm going to continue this season too.
Oh, that's
So-
good to hear. Yeah.
So I don't know why they take so long because we're making a website currently, but I keep the stats will be continued as always, as usual. So there will be no changes far. And yes.
Well,
So I hope
that's great to hear, Crimson name.
So I hope I can come back next season, but I really need a break. Some private stuff, some other stuff. I didn't really got into racing this whole game, so I think I just got 40 hours or something like that. That's really I think in the other game I got at this point 100 hours and stuff like that, and I'm really not into racing stuff like that. So I really have to train again and stuff like that. And
Well,
I just-
there you go. There
I
you go. You
just-
heard it from Krim himself. Sorry, Krim. I'm eager to get to this race here, as I'm sure you're gonna maybe watch this one and see how the guys get on. But I know I was talking to Mossy during the week, and I think he was asking about a certain someone maybe filling his seat. I don't know if he's told you about it, but more on that later. But yeah, I think we're gonna have to get to the race. So any final words from you, Crimson?
Yeah, well, I want to big thank you to everyone. So to everyone, I really enjoyed the fights, the flights, the issues, the damages, everything. The issues. I got penalty points. Even that's things I gonna miss. And just thank you to everyone who hearing this, to all the new boys, to all the old boys, which I'm driving in season 2 back on. A big thank you to Satoshi. I just saw him writing a good message, and he was my first teammate, so thanks to him. And yeah, really, really big thank you to be a part of this tier.
Yeah, well, we'll be sad to see you go, but I'm sure you will come back at some point, and Mossy will be representing you in that Red Bull. So keep an eye out for that tomorrow. Mussy will be on track. I think I'll actually be filling in for you in the Red Bull seat tomorrow. So that's something to watch out for. So hopefully I can do you proud. But we'll see, we'll see. But anyway, Crims, we'll get to the race here, and we'll
Yes, of
speak to you
course.
after, okay? So
Yes, of course.
Thanks.
Just let me know when you finish.
yeah, thanks for joining.
Problem. Thank you.
Thanks, Grim.
Right, that's it then. Sad news, but let's get to the race. I mean, there's a lot to talk about in Inferno Koi. We've been doing a lot of practice ourselves during the week.
Yeah, in vain, my lad.
I'm looking forward to this here in terms of like what strategy people are going to go for. There's a lot of different ones you can try out. I mean, medium hards maybe or soft hards depending on where you qualify. I mean, what's your thoughts on the strats that could be play out here?
Yeah, I think there's probably, I was going to say 2 schools of thought, but maybe even 3. I think there's either the soft hard guys, there might be 1 or 2 people that try a soft medium if they're a bit mad, and then there's going to be people that do a 2-stop. But from what my limited testing shows is I don't think there's a huge drop off on the tyres. Like percentage wise, they go up. They rise and wear quite a bit, but I've not noticed like a huge difference in pace as the tyres get old after that. Obviously after a few laps the softs will drop off a lot, but then for the rest of their life I don't see a huge difference from like 30% to 60%, that kind of range.
Yeah, the softs are notorious on this track for dropping off after about, I'd say about lap 5, as early as lap 5, 6. So a 2-stop, if anyone's brave enough to go for that, I tried that in a league race recently. It worked out okay because you're always on a really good tire. And if you pit early, I think I pitted a lap 6 off the softs onto mediums, and then did a second medium stint after that, and it wasn't too bad because if I felt like all the time I was on the best tire, you know. Whereas other guys were maybe on hards, and I was able to maybe just kind of have the upper hand in that way. But the 2 pit stop, it is a long pit stop. This one, it's about 25 seconds, so that has to be taken into account.
It's a bit weird because you sort of skip that last corner, which is a corner you'll take really quickly if you stay on the track. You veer off onto the side, like away from the rest of the race. So you lose a lot of time going into the pit lane in comparison to people that stay out on track. So you really do have to make up that time when you are on the track. So you've got to push hard to make up a good 25 seconds. It's not easy to do.
Yeah, and there's always that element of the safety car as well that can be thrown into the mix, and it can really scupper the best strategy. But we'll see. This is Tier 4. It has been fairly clean so far. It's a well-known track, China. There's been a lot of practice at it, so expect a lot of good things. I mean, a guy I did see in practice during the week was this guy who's on pole at the minute, X Crystals. There was a few complaints coming in about some of the driving he was doing there. You know, he was blocking hot laps and maybe wasn't very aware of cars around him. So he's on the top step at the minute in terms of pace here. He's 30.2, which is pretty good lap time for. I mean, Tier 4 is it's faster than I've won in quali anyway. That's for sure.
Yeah, there's definitely a few very fast boys down in Tier 4. I think if I just bring up the standings shortly, I think this might be a good idea. We can see that definitely Bot is leading the way with 58 points, followed closely by Ace Boy on 57 and Mehmet rounding out the top 3 on 37. And I think those 3, in particular, definitely Bot and Ace Boy, are probably the 2 standout performers from the first few races. They've always been there or thereabouts at the front of the pack. And it wouldn't surprise me to see them back at the front again today. They qualify high, especially definitely Bot, and they've been relatively clean as well. I've not seen any huge incidents involving them. They just get their job done.
Yeah, I think Max will be joining at some point during this race. I don't think he made it into the qualifying session, but I think he is going to get a car for the race, hopefully. Yeah, and definitely Bot, as you say there. He's currently running on mediums. He's set a time on mediums, so he's trying to probably avoid those soft tires, it seems like, and get himself placed in the top 10 somewhere. But currently P10s probably will get knocked out.
Yeah, I'm on board with him at the moment. He looks Looks like he's pushing on softs. He's had a bit of a wiggle coming around the last corner.
Oh, and
And there he is,
P2.
P2.
Wow. Yeah, good lap from him. 130.4. I wonder if we're going to get into the 29s. I mean, I've seen
That's
tier
very
1 guys. Yeah, I've seen tier 1 guys with low 29s, even a 28, which seems incredible to me. But this is looking pretty good so far. I mean, there's a few other drivers as well worth mentioning. We've got the return of It's Just Vinny, who PM'd me. We're a bit wary of putting him in tier 4 because he was a regular tier 2 driver and he had a lot of pace. But he's saying in this new game he's struggling to find that pace again. So he's currently P4, not too bad.
Yeah. He's
not
just
quite
started
where
a
he
hot
was.
lap as well. So I'm just going to jump on board with him. And we'll see how he handles it, because he's currently in P4, so he's not doing bad at all.
Yeah, someone said yesterday in practice that China is basically all hairpins, which is actually quite true. There's quite a lot of different types of hairpins in this one, and it's a lot of heavy braking zones, but there is some corners like this one coming up. It's a fast chicane. You can go flat out on this left-hand corner, and you want to line yourself up and just feed the car in. Bit of braking maybe, but definitely up the power. Down gearing to usually about 3 or 4, but yep. Vinny down to 3 there, and then on the power, it looks like he's a bit tentative on the exit there, might have lost a little bit of time, and then it's down to another hairpin section here. It's quite an awkward hairpin, as it's quite a long right-hander, and this is key to a good lap time. I mean, if you can get a good exit onto this long straight, I mean, you're going to make up a lot of time, but you can also lose a lot of time here if you get a bad exit there.
Yeah, exactly. I think there's quite a lot of similarities with Vietnam, who we've just been to, of course, and there's a lot of sort of heavy traction zones where it's very difficult to get the car planted, and so that you can put your foot all the way down on the throttle as you come out on from the exit. So we've got that long sweeping one that we just saw. Turn 1, of course, if you go long, winding, slow right-hander, and then you've got the sharp left, and then you want to get on the throttle as fast as you can to go up towards the hairpin, and it's really difficult to find that limit of how hard you can actually push it without sending the car into the wall.
Yeah, that's it exactly. I mean, there's so many points here where you can just lose the back end, and that corner before the long straight in sector 3 is one of them. I've seen lots of cars spinning out there or running wide and picking up penalties. So that's another factor as well, is penalties. There is going to be a bunch of penalties in this race, no doubt. That final corner, I know you have to be brave through there, but I mean, it's so easy just to run wide on the exit or even cut the corner too much.
Yeah, it's tough because the fastest line is too easily. You have to cut that corner quite a lot, and you often find yourself you either cut it too much, or you end up with a line such that you go just a tiny bit too wide and clip that exit curb, and then you get a penalty on that side as well. And there's a few places around the track where you can get similar penalties. You have to be very careful. I just jumped on with Crystals, who's currently our provisional pole leader. He's just warming his tyres up on his out lap, and he'll soon be crossing the line to start his last, I assume, lap of the session.
And just while we ride on board of him, Satoshi's pointing out, he's saying happy to see Max back on track, and that's great. I mean, Max is usually a tier 1 driver, but he's taking a wee bit of a break due to other commitments, but he's back here and he's running P11 at the minute, so I'm very interested to see what kind of pace he has. He's someone who before, I think he's still on no assist, but he's one of these guys that is definitely improving all the time, and I expect even over the course of this race he'll probably get some good track time in and improve. Elementrix currently P10, just ahead of Max actually, so that's one to note as well.
Yeah, it's a good session from her. I think if she can, she's had probably a few qualifying woes, and she often has a bit of hesitancy off the start line from what I've noticed, so it'd be good to see if she can start further up the grid. Maybe that'll give her a bit more confidence to keep that position off the line going into turn 1 and 2, and sort of look at a strong midfield finish perhaps.
That's a really good point. I know whenever I first started league racing, I mean, Elementrix has just begun recently, like fairly recently, but you know, whenever you first go in, you just don't want to get in anyone's way or cause any issues, so you almost become too passive, too cautious, and it can lead to incidents, and it can you're almost better just pushing it a bit, but it's kind of trying to find that right line as Vinny retired from session in P2, so he is definitely not going to be on pole for this one.
Yep, looks like he's giving up crystals going into the last corner here. Yeets it across. Fifth,
big cut.
bit of wiggle.
That was
But
a
it's an
massive cut there.
improvement.
Nicely done, but that was a massive cut there on the final corner. I was almost thinking, I was watching out for the red track to appear there to show that it's invalidated, but not doing. As definitely Bot crosses the line, he's about to start a lap as well, so he's one who could contend for P1 here.
He's definitely one of the front runners. We'll see how he handles this first very tricky slow right-hander into the slow left-hander, and then slowly build up on the throttle as he goes wide and up to 7th gear. Will he go into 8th first? No, he holds in the 7th, downshifts, takes the hairpin in 3rd, and now he gets a long sweeping left-hander. Want to keep his throttle down 100% all the way around, and then come down into 5th, 4th, and back up, only to go down again for a slow left and another one, and he builds up the throttle. There's quite a lot of flow to China, I think. It's quite a nice. Some people don't like it, but I think it's quite a nice track to drive in a way once you get your line down.
Yeah, I definitely like it this time around. Mehmet TV, it was on soft there. I think he was up in his time and he actually backed out. I think he wants to start outside the top 10, I think.
Yeah,
He
P12.
definitely could improve. There's Van, goes P11 on softs, 31.9. But yeah, definitely Bot is the one to watch right now. He can definitely contend for this P1 spot, this pole position. Is he up in his time?
It's a good exit. P2. So
Oh, nicely
3
done.
tenths up, but not quite enough for provisional pole, but it does get him on the front row of the grid. So, do you know if that puts him on the left or the right? 'Cause I don't.
Let's see. I have no idea. I've never been on the front
I
row
wonder,
in
do
China.
you know, is it the same on every track? Like,
I think it's the left. I think it's the left. I think. Yeah. But yeah, Shaka P5. So he jumped up there in the last on his last run. He was P7, went up to P5.
That's very good from Shaka. I think he's had some issues in recent races from memory in terms of getting into incidents. So hopefully, I think this is probably higher than where he normally qualifies. So if he can get away cleanly, he should be in a good place.
Yeah, he's a very consistent driver. I think he's another one who's just building up his confidence and, maybe in the past was a bit guilty of being a bit passive around other drivers. But I think as he's got more confidence, especially with this new game, that he's not willing to pull over anymore. He's going to give you a battle on track for sure.
That's
P5, great starting position for him. Yeah.
Yeah. Someone else perhaps of note is Kebab. I've noticed P8. It's pretty decent for Kebab. He generally qualifies quite highly from what I've seen. But he is one of those drivers who does get him not necessarily involved in incidents. He seems to lose it on his own a fair bit from what I've seen. If he can just work on his consistency, he should be able to bring in the high points finishes pretty easily.
Yeah, he was actually my teammate in the 2SRL Tier 3 race, and I think he had a bunch of issues. He was spinning out quite a lot, and he qualified really, really well, but the race, it just went to pot, and I think we kind of figured out what it was. He was using a TT setup, and yeah, it was great in qualifying, but in the race, it was unmanageable. So we have now got him a race setup, so let's see what he can do. As there you see the starting grid, X Crystals P1, definitely bought P2, and it's just Vinny on his return P3. So that pace that he was lacking, that he told me about, he's still up there. I mean, it is Tier 4, but P3 is nothing to be scoffed at.
Yeah, it's only 2 tenths off Crystals and Pole. Looks like those three at the front are perhaps in their own little league in terms of raw qualifying pace.
So, we're saying before, oh, look at those clouds.
Oh, That's great.
Yeah, that is pretty great. We had a practice session where it looked pretty gloomy, but there was no rain. So maybe no rain for this one as well. But you never know, China. I know in previous
Yeah.
games would throw in a bit of rain here or there. So if any of the drivers are in chat or any crew chiefs are about, if you want to give us some intel, we'd be very much appreciated of that.
I think it's definitely one of the tracks that has a reasonable percentage chance of rain. On the other hand, it could just be the smog.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. China well known for smog,
Yeah.
although recently no smog because of Corona.
The wonders of worldwide pandemics. Brilliant.
Yeah, that's all it took to get rid of the smog is a lot of people dying of a viral disease. But here we go. Crystals gets us underway with a formation lap. So I think we'll just have a run down the drivers. I mean, X Crystal, as I say before, I'm a bit concerned about it in this race today, judging by what I saw in practice. But as he said in chat, it's practice. You know, you are testing the limits, but we just want to see good racecraft from him out there. P2, then we've got definitely Bot, who is very consistent, has got some really good results and wins recently. So expect great things from him. It's just Vinny. I think a lot of eyes are on him now. This is his return. He left the league there last season, at the end of last season, and he's come back now. What has he got in the pocket? We're about to find out. Leglaf, another guy, very fast, I would say, but a bit inconsistent from what I've seen of him anyway. Tends to get himself into scraps unnecessary. Really, I mean, if you're looking at the race, it's 28 laps, and you know, one corner, one move can really just impede in that. You pick up a bit of damage, especially the lap one. This turn one is notorious for incidents. And I've already got Dragon here. He's the guy who will call on. Yeah, he's in chat right now saying, "I bet 4 DNFs." Netflix saying 3 DNFs. Joel saying 2. Pretoria saying 3 safety cars. So he has no faith in tier 4. It seems.
Dragon, the perennial gambler, from what I've seen in chat. We need to get ourselves set up on Skybet or something.
Yeah.
Make lots of money, I'm sure.
100%, yeah. So just finishing on the grid, Shaka P5, great performance from him. XT, XP, kind of dark horse, yeah. P6.
Yeah.
Biejaluk, that's my best pronunciation of that name, is P7. P8 Kebab, Nico P9, and a great performance from Elementrix. P10 gets herself in the top 10. We'll be starting on those soft tires, so all top 10 on softs, the rest on mediums. And Inferno, I'm going to let you call this race.
Oh, brilliant.
Start. Okay, so
well,
let's go.
I'll ignore the lights and I'll wait for the cars to move. But we're still waiting for the last player to pull up there. I think that's Bebix at the back in the AlphaTauri. And here we go. Revving up. And lights are out. There we go. Crystals is away, and so he's definitely Bot neck and neck into the first corner. I've got contact behind his XTXP. He's lost it. He's right at the back already. There was instant contact there, and I'm not sure if there's damage.
Yeah, I did see
and there's a hassle as well. It's definitely Bot his
definitely
round.
Bot's off. Yep.
Oh my word. There's a VSE already.
A lot of carnage here first lap. Yeah, this is terrible. So XP, I think he lost it on his own volition there. I
think he may have had trouble getting the traction off the line, and it sort of caused him to spin into another car, and that rebounded him into the wall. He's lost part of his front wing. Definitely Bot. Seems like he's okay for damage, at least, but he is now in 16th place.
Yeah, that's a terrible start from him. We're going to have to keep an eye on him as he makes his way for the field. Another person who got caught up in that carnage was Elementrix, so unfortunate for her. She's down in P16, and XP is in last position, carrying a lot of damage, it seems.
And the VSC has ended now, of course, and we're back and away, and Crystals has made a bolt for it. He's already over 1 second away from Vinny. So we'll be looking to stretch that gap and keep him outside of DRS range when that does turn on. And there's a Mercedes off.
That was a big, yeah, Beijing, yeah.
Luke.
Oh, and another car as well, looked like a Ferrari in the background, or McLaren, sorry.
That's Max.
So Beju look, yeah, he's lucky if he's got no damage there. Is this another VSC? No.
No,
I see a
I
yellow
think they're
flag
okay.
on her.
It's a
But
very long
yeah.
camera shot.
Wow, he just went flying.
He has lost his wing, a part of his wing as well. He might be coming in. It looks like it's an end plate. So the first pit stop's Nico. Looks like he may have been involved in some incidents as well. I'm expecting a new wing for him. The question is, can you go from here on the hard tyres all the way? I think you maybe could, but it's going to be difficult.
Yeah, I mean, I think you might be able to. I mean, it's going to be a bit of a stretch. I think a lap 4 would be safe, but
Yeah.
maybe. I
Max
know.
seems to be trying it.
Yeah,
He's gone onto the hards, everyone else on the mediums.
Max and Philo actually, they've made up 6 and 7 positions respectively, so they gained massively from that carnage on the first lap there. Shaka and Kebab running P4, P5 in those alphas, which is great for them. Shaka holding on to the back of the leg left, so it's really about trying to keep in within 1 second of the car in front here as they're about to go into lap 3, which means DRS will be available to them, and that's going to be key for overtakes on this long back straight in sector 3.
Yeah, Vinny's managed to close the gap on Crystals. It's down to 0.5 of a second now. And there's incidents behind them. That's an Alfa Romeo at Shaka. Just seen him drop a few places. And he's under pressure from Philoctetes now. He's going past him around the outside.
So Drama Rama in China, definitely bought. Look at him making his way through the field here. He's at the hairpin and he's got himself past BBEX, so he's up to P11 already. So he's storming through the field here. His race is not over by any means.
He's making huge gains. I think being able to escape that first lap incident without damage has possibly saved him a bit here. He goes past Edward into turn 1, and Beric's also having a go.
He was on the grass. He had both right wheels on the grass there to make that move, and he made it stick. So up to P10 already, and the points for definitely bought.
Man on a mission for sure. Not interested in hanging around. He wants to get right back into the front runners as soon as he can to try and minimise the time that he lost in that incident. Let's see. Looking forward, Shaka had a bit of a moment on the back straight before. Looks like he's settling down into a rhythm now. He's on the back of Philoctetes, hoping to try and recover that position that he lost. And it's coming onto the back straight now. I think they've got 1 more lap before they get DRS, if memory serves me right. But he's getting as close as he can. No, DRS, they do have DRS.
So lap 3 DRS, and it's not enough to catch up on Philo. He almost runs. He got a bit of overspeed there. It's something you have to kind of factor in. You're running heavy fuel load at the start of the race, plus you'll have that overspeed, slipstream as well, and maybe a bit of overtake. And the braking points are going to be a bit earlier than usual, so almost caught out there, and he drops off the back of Philo, so out of that DRS zone, DRS range rather.
Yeah, I think if I'm right in saying Shaka is one of the guys that doesn't use any assists.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit trickier without that line that I think probably a lot of people in the tier use to figure out where they need to brake, especially when you've got that unusual circumstance. Perhaps if you've got the DRS, you may have the overtake button pressed on. You've got to adjust depending on what speed you're carrying into that corner.
Mehmet TV in the Williams up to P8. Van as well as teammate in the Williams was up to P9, but he came under attack there in sector 1. He's dropped a couple of positions down to P11 and is now under attack from Edward from behind in the Ferrari.
Yeah, there's a bit of a train here, looks like, from Elementrix in 13 up to Philoctetes in P6. I think everyone there is in DRS range just about. See if anyone's fancying a move.
I think BBEX is getting pretty close to definitely bought it, but it's all about this exit from this long right-hander, and I think he's going to get it. DRS as well. He's got overtake. He's got plenty of overtake, 76% on lap 4. That's...
He presses it there with the DRS active.
And
clean past.
Makes that look easy. Oh, definitely bought thought about going up the inside there, but yeah, wise head prevailed.
Yeah, it's lap 3, well, lap 5 now. These softs that definitely Bot started on. Yeah, he's coming into the pits as I say it. Being overtaken there clearly wasn't on his agenda, and he's going to make a stop.
Yeah, definitely Bot going for that early pit stop. So I think he's going for a 2-stop strategy, I think. But you can't go hard from here. I wonder what he's thinking right now.
I think there's a yellow mark tyres. It looks like a 2-stop.
Two-stopper, yeah. This can work. I mean, if we get a safety car as well at the right time, it will be perfect for him. And Shaka,
I can see Edward is going up the inside of Vans. And he makes it stick, I think. Just got exiting that corner, got the long sweeping left now. And Van doesn't want to give it up.
X-Crystals has had a spin. I don't know if there's contact or whatever, but yeah, he's had a big spin and he's dropped right down to P9. I wonder if that's the case of these softs just falling right off. I mean, his tires are going to be cooked right now with that spin, so he needs to be careful. He's got Edward a wee bit behind his teammate, maybe the bit of rear guard. Oh, look at
he's really struggling again.
And he's definitely going to have to pit this lap. I mean, these tires are done. Oh, and we've got Philo off as well. Philo on these medium tires. What is going on? And it's this last corner, the exit.
Yeah, it's that traction zone. Got to be so careful.
Yeah, I wonder if he's just got a bit greedy there, but I mean...
His entire front wing is missing. He must have hit that wall with some force. He's going to have to pit.
And we've got a VSC, so that will play into the hands of X-Crystals, who is going to pit, and these top 2 guys are pitting as well.
Yeah, brilliant timing for the softs runners.
Kebab up to P3 now, so he's pitting under VSC, which will give him a bit of an advantage. Oh, Shaka got a 3-second time penalty. That's a bit unusual from him. He usually doesn't pick up many penalties during races, but he's decided to stay out on these softs. So
yeah, he must be wanting to go a bit later, and I'm assuming do a 1-stop, because if you're on a 2-stop, you've got to go now. Surely, I feel like you're throwing away so much time if you stay out. But it makes me wonder, he might be on a soft medium. I think if you're on a soft hard and you get a VSC at lap 6, I think you take that opportunity and you stretch those hards. And that's Vinny, isn't it? That's a drive-through penalty.
Oh, that is terrible for Vinny. On his return race, he gets a drive-through penalty. That is absolutely horrible. And yeah, I mean, some good news. We've got Max Spiltz in P1 right now, so let's just enjoy that as he goes a bit wide on the exit there. We are now underway, full race conditions, and he's got Mehmet TV on his behind. These guys have made 11 positions each, but they will have to. I was going to say they have to pit soon, but they're both on mediums, so they're loving life right now. As Max is going to come under threat from Mehmet TV with his DRS. Max moving to the right, wants to guard that inside line, and surprisingly, Mehmet TV didn't have a massive amount of overspeed on him as he locks up, and it looks like Max has got the inside, but I mean, you want to go too wide for this corner. It's going to be a brave move from both of them.
Ooh, nicely done.
Yeah, well done. I think yeah, that could have went badly for both, but thankfully both of them get through. Max concedes the position for now. Shaka is in the pits, so I think you're right. He's going to be putting on a set of hards, and he's going to be kicking himself that 3-second time penalty. I know he's someone who prides himself on not picking up many warnings or penalties.
Yeah, it's a set of hards for Shaka. Yeah, he's serving a penalty in the pits. The engineers are not doing the job. I think that was a 5-second penalty he picked up.
Wow, I'm gonna check incidents, see what happened there with Shaka. Shaka, yeah, 5-second penalty, ignoring yellow flag. Oh no, my man. That might be a bug of some kind, but I mean, if he serves it, that means it's gonna stick. So he can't have that removed post race. So not good for him.
Perhaps that was under the VSE. Perhaps maybe he overtook some cars under VSE, because it was quite chaotic, especially that because it was the first corner, wasn't it, when the VSE came on?
Yeah.
So you might not realise. I've served a drive-through for not realising the VSC's on.
Oh yeah,
I've just kept my foot down and carried on.
Yeah, let's not talk about that. I've horrible memories of that. Multiple drive-throughs on the one VSC. As it's just Vinny is going for a move on Vans here. So I think this DRS and the fresh set of hards on Vinny's car is going to get this move done for him.
Yeah, he's got a lot of work to do if he wants to recover a respectable position by the time he serves his drive-through.
Yeah, is he going to peel off here and serve it? He hasn't served it yet, has he?
I believe not. I think.
Yeah, he's P5. He kind of, yeah. So he's got 2 more laps, I think, to serve it, or else he'll get disqualified.
And he sets the fastest lap, 1:35.0. So he's really trying to make the most of these tyres while they're fresh.
Nicely done. Elementrix in the pits. Conservative pit entry, I would say there. Just doesn't want to pick up a speeding penalty, but maybe a bit too cautious there.
It's hard tyres as well for Elementrix. So it's the one stop to the end.
Neff is saying Max Builds, he believes, has a drive-through penalty as well. I will check that in the incident reports. Give me a second.
I'm just on board with Vinny as he's breathing down the neck of Edward in the Ferrari. Looks like he perhaps will be setting him up for an overtake on the back straight. He's going to stay nice and close as much as he can. He locks up a little, braking late. Now here we go. He gets a great exit, so much better than Edward. He's passed him before the DRS. Oh no, and he's lost it.
Oh no.
Slams on the brakes, and he's got to let Edward go to save the car. But then he does get DRS again, but he's got no ERS at all. He's going to have to wait until next lap.
Vinny, oh no. And you know what? Neff pointed out Max did pick up a drive-through. I can confirm that. I can also confirm, and I don't know how we missed this, but Leglaff, Nico, X Crystals, and It's Just Vinny, they all picked up drive-through penalties under that
So Red
BSC.
Bull off as well. That's Nico. He's really struggling. He's off in the gravel.
It's Just Vinny and Max both in the pit serving those penalties.
Oh wow, lots of drive-throughs. Throwing a spanner in a lot of races today.
Yep. But we're only lap 9 out of 28. I mean, a safety car can well bring them back in. And I mean, it's just when he comes out in P8. So not too bad from him. Max comes out in P6. So it's not looking too bad. I mean, Max, he does have to pit at least once again here.
Yeah, he's got definitely bot for company as well on his outside. They're going wheel to wheel into the hairpin.
Ooh.
Max splits, fends him off, gets his elbows out, but definitely bot comes back at him again up the inside into the next corner.
Yeah, I found that inside line is key for getting a run. I mean, if you can get that inside line, get your car alongside, you're pretty much guaranteed that corner.
Yeah, you sort of have to back out on the outside. You can't keep your foot floored on the outside there. You'll just send it off. You've got to sort of go much slower if you want to take that line, which allows the car on the inside to sweep through nicely.
I've got a battle here, Leglaff on Max as they enter onto the back straight. And Leglaff just getting a wee bit looser. He runs wide as well, gets a 3-second time penalty. That's pretty harsh, that one, but you know, it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah, it seems a lot of drivers are having trouble with the traction coming out of that bend. And I can see further back on that straight, XTXP going wheel to wheel with Bileli Luke. He's going past him into the hairpin. Biela goes wide, trying to do a switchback maybe. No, he's going to slot in behind. He's going to settle for 14th right now.
Ooh, XTXP had a bit of a loose end there.
Got over speed on the Mercedes. He's going past him back on the straight into turn 1.
Yeah, nice move from Bejeluk. That's one of the hardest names to pronounce. So
why is he in tier 4? Send him somewhere else. Some fighting in front of them. It's Crystals and Shaka exchanging positions. Shaka is currently settling for second best. So they're both on relatively new hard tyres. They're going to go to the end. We'll see if they get any closer again later in the lap.
I think for Shaka, it's really key that he keeps within DRS range of Crystals here. could pull him along, as X Crystals was on pole and is a very fast driver in this tier for sure. But Shaka's out of DRS range already, and only a matter of a handful of corners. So he's on the pressure car as well, so he is struggling a wee bit. As Shaka, as there is a move here, it's just Vinny on Max. Oh, and it's in the hairpin. It's just Vinny sending it down the inside, and it looks like he's got the move done. Max conceding. I think Max is just lacking maybe some laps in this game, and he's not confident enough.
It's a Red Bull. I think that's Nico again. Yeah, he's really struggling today, it looks like.
Yeah, he's well off the pace here. 32 seconds back. He's still staying in it. Oh, and he almost lost the car there once again. But yeah, he's well back. He's struggling big time at China.
See leg lap on Max here. Trying to squeeze his nose. Oh, he's struggling on traction again. It's really tricky to keep the car straight coming up on the exits here. And again, he's a bit of a wobble.
I think is this track conditions? I mean, is it the fact that it's a bit cooler, that it's just the track's a little bit slippier?
Yeah, I think maybe the case, or like you said with Kebab, I think a lot of drivers may have issues with just sort of taking a TT setup and just running with it, hoping for the best. And I certainly found that. I picked first thing I do when I look at a track is get a TT setup and try it out. And I remember the TT setups from my fans list. They are horrendous in race settings. Horrendous. You slide all over the place. It feels like you've got no stability at all.
Yeah, you're really driving on the ragged edge. Not good for the race at all. Oh, and Leglas sends an absolute send on him. Bit of contact there. I mean, I think that was a bit of a poor move from him there, because Max really had no option there but just to hang it out wide. And somehow Max holds on to position. He's not giving up without a fight here, and I think it's going to be a battle. Yeah, his leg left DRS, and he's going to run now outside. There is contact, and he just swipes into him. That is so easy to happen. I mean, I think leg left maybe should have left a little bit more room there, but they're too eager to get the move done.
To try and occupy that area of the track, I think, when you're side by side someone.
And this has put Shaka right on the back of Max. Max, no damage there, thankfully. It doesn't seem
looks like it's just a tap, I think, on the front wheels and spinning. And that's a Red Bull facing the wrong way. That was Nico, who's now left the session.
Oh dear.
I did not realise what was on my screen at the time. See, out in front as well, Mehmet and Bebek looks like. They are well clear of Edward in third, but they are...
Also, look at this, Kebab and P5 on Vans. Vans has DRS as well. So I think Kebab, if he's playing a wise here, he wanted to save up his ERS and just be patient here, because he's got 2 cars ahead of him. He's got a podium, like, potentially on the cards here.
Pitting here as well. Yeah, there goes Edward, and I see Mehmet as well has come in. Looks like those medium runners deciding that 11-12 laps is enough. Will they be going to the hards? I think looks like it's a good opportunity to do a medium hard strategy perhaps, or they're 2 stopping for some softs maybe.
Yeah, Mehmet TV on hards, and he served a penalty in there, 5-second penalty. It looked like he was held, so he's going to come out. I think maybe Edward as well was held, because he's quite.
Yeah, that Ferrari has gone really far back.
Coming up behind Shaka. Beige Luke in the pits as well, so he's right down the order at the minute. So things shaping up nicely here. We've got Bebex and Vans and P1, P2, but Bebex is quite a margin to Vans. I think Bebex is going to be thinking, I need to pit this lap. Those guys are going to get the undercut on me, so I don't want to stay out too long here.
Yeah, speaking of the undercut, Mehmet TV, he's just gone past Max splits on his fresh hards, Max on the old mediums. Not too interested in fighting too hard. I imagine he'll be looking at what Mehmet's just done. He's just coasted past him and think, well, maybe it's time for me to get some fresh tyres as well.
Yep, Bebex in the pits as we fought there. So
Kebab and Vans fighting into the hairpin at the end of the long straight.
Oh, Kebab gets
it
moved on, yeah.
up the inside. Vans might be coming in. Yeah. Vans deciding he's had enough of these tyres. Get some fresh boots.
And where does BBX come out? That's the important thing. Is Kebab is currently P1 and loving life right now. He wants the race to end this lap, please. But we're only halfway. Actually, I just realised as it's just finished P2. So BBX is coming out in P3, and he's got a bit of a gap ahead and behind. So he'll be thankful of that.
Lots of people coming in for the pits now. It seems like a natural time. We're 50% through the race. See where the positions line up after this big shake. Let's see where we've got any fighting.
So really, is Kebab looking at? We're looking at 2-stop for Kebab, and that's it. Like he's the only one to stop, I think. I mean, Max potentially has to stop.
Yeah,
And
looking at
Philo?
it, Philo, yeah, because Kebab qualified at the top 10, so he started on the softs and he pit early for mediums. I think he was one of the guys that pit for under the VSC, I think, for mediums. So he's probably gonna have to pit again. I can't imagine. I don't know if you could do 21 laps on the mediums. That seems a big stretch. And there's a McLaren off. I can see. That's Vinny.
Oh, it's Vinny. Oh my word! I was just about to say he's doing so good after that drive-through. He was up to P. I think yeah, he was high up the order there, and it was looking pretty good for him. But that is not what we want to see. He's obviously got a bit greedy on the power there, coming out onto that long straight, and it's cost him again. I don't think any damage that time. No, it's pretty hot tires right now, and he's questioning why he came back at China.
It's a tough one to dive back into for sure.
So X Crystals up to P5 after that incident he had earlier in the race. He's great recovery from him. Leg lap as well. I mean, some questionable driving from leg lap there, but I mean, P4 currently not doing too bad. Mehmet TV is looking pretty good, as is Bebex on these fresh hards. Mehmet TV not too far off Bebex actually. So
yeah, I mean, looking at the position change, Bebex in particular, he's jumped up 14 places since his start. I think he's somebody that's probably benefited a lot from all the chaos and penalties that have been dished around. And he seems to be someone that's sort of gone under the radar and made the most of it, sneaking into P2.
And Kebab is getting caught by Bebex here, which is not good. I think Kebab, if I was in his position, I really would be considering going on to mediums, like either this lap or the next lap.
Another set, yeah. The thing is, he's only done 8 laps on these set, so I think he's probably wanting to do a couple more. Maybe like if you pit lap 19, perhaps. I think you do 9 or 18, I suppose. If you pit lap 18, you did about 10 on each tyre, 10, 11.
Yeah.
But yeah, he is losing time to Bebex. Yeah, and he's got another pit stop. He's going to come out quite a way back, because I don't think the field is that far behind him overall.
Yeah, Kebab's last lap was a 36.6, and we got Bebex as last lap 35.1, a personal best from him, so over a second and a half per lap. So he's going to close that gap pretty rapidly, I would say. Mema TV last lap was 35.2, so not too far off.
Yeah, and definitely bought just at the fastest lap at a 35.0. So you can see the pace across the field is very similar. The fastest lap is just being set with the 35.0 and 35.1s, 35.2s coming in from the competition. It's a close field.
An interesting fact I just discovered there, definitely bought it, is according to my information, it is on a SMH, a shake my head strategy.
Yeah, I think he pit quite early, didn't he? He got rid of his soft. I remember he was the first person to pit. He pit on lap maybe 4 or 5, wasn't it, to get rid of his softs?
Yeah.
He went onto the mediums. Now he's got a set of hards. and they won't be under any trouble for just 13 laps, so he can go all out with these, really throw them around.
And there you go. Kebab is in the pits. It's lap 16, so a bit earlier than we were expecting then.
Yep.
Lap 17 technically.
He's passed Edward on the back straight. So that's one down for him. He'll be looking to make further inroads, I'm sure. We'll see where Kebab comes out. He's on to another set of mediums.
Yeah, I think about P8, P9 maybe. Like feed into this battle between Shaka and Definitely Bot. It looks like it's going to be coming up pretty soon, as Definitely Bot is on these 2-lap-old hards versus Shaka on 9-lap-old. 1.6 is the gap at the minute, but yeah, Kebab out in front of Shaka, which is very key. He's got his teammate behind him to kind of guard him from that charge from Definitely Bot right now.
Yeah, and he's of course on fresh mediums, which technically should be the fastest tyres on the track right now. Nobody else is on anything softer or fresher, so now's Kebab's time to make up some places, hopefully, for him. If he's got max 2 seconds in front of him.
Mode push,
yeah. Max, of course, on 14-lap-old hards. He's been on them since very close to the beginning. He's going to be struggling to take them all the way. So Kebab's he's got to have his eyes on P6, maybe P5. And that's the Red Bull. I think that's Elementrix.
Yeah, she's off on those hards, so 8-lap-old hards. Must have just lost coming out of the hairpin there. Is easy to do. I mean, even if you get a tire on the curb, it can spit you out pretty hard.
Yeah, like we say, there's so many sort of high traction zones that you have to be so careful on the throttle coming out of a lot of these corners, and so it's caught a lot of people out today. Elementrix is now added to the list.
Van's picking up 3-second time penalty. He is after that P10 spot, 4.5 off points at the minute. That 3-second time penalty is not going to help him too much.
We mentioned Shaka having to fend off Definitely Bot. He's already on the back of him, and he's looking to go past him into turn 1. And there he goes. Makes no hassle of it at all.
Oh, and Shaka looking like he's going to go on the inside. He gets an inside run.
It's a bit of a tap on the back wheel. But I think that's it. I think they've stopped.
I think Shaka was smart there. You know, he knew that there's no point getting past him again, but he saw the gap there, and he just felt like, I don't want to lose too much time here, so he kind of...
If you see the gap, right, if it's there, you might as well try. There's a slow AlphaTauri behind us. Max splits. It looks like he may have had a little wobble. Struggling now down in P12 after we saw him much further towards the front earlier on.
Edward on the back of Shaka. We've got a yellow flag in sector 1 there. I don't see any incident though, but yeah, Edward, is he in DRS range? I think he might have just made it, no more. So let's see if we can get DRS open on this back straight. He's on these fresher hards, so he doesn't have any ERS saved up though. This DRS will be crucial for him to keep up with Shaka. Shaka moving over to guard the inside line. Is Edward actually going to send it here? Hopefully not.
He's got an absolutely empty ERS tank, doesn't he? He's not, just doesn't have the juice to get over the line there.
Yeah, but Shaka's going to come under pressure here on the start-finish straight. DRS once again for Edward. Shaka, is he going to guard that inside line? He chooses not to this time, and fairly much concedes position. Oh, and
very tight.
Nice driving from both these drivers here as Shaka tries to feed it down the inside. Yeah, Edward just getting a better run out, gets him moved on, so he's up to P9 for now. But yeah, Kebab as well is on to SLR Max. So
those fresh mediums really doing work for Kebab right now. Like he's setting himself up for a move. He's got a lot of ERS in the bank. And Max has a bit less. So it looks like I would expect him to really try and get right up close to Max going into that last sector.
Yeah, but one thing I really recognize in this game more than others, the dirty air aspect of it. I mean, that fast chicane especially, it's so easy to run wide there in the second part of it. And Kebab is going to get DRS here. He does have a good bit of ERS as well. Not much slipstream from this far back, but will gain him some time. Ooh, and under braking gains a lot of time. So you can see how much those mediums are performing right now.
Yeah, it sort of feels to me watching Kebab go to he's not so much trying to overtake him, he's trying to keep with him. It seems
Yeah.
like Max might actually be faster. He's starting to pull away and break the DRS already. Kebab's really got to try and stick with the back of him.
Shaka in the pits. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting. 11 lap old hards. Surely it's got to be damage for that, you'd think. Unless he's not confident in those tyres, and he doesn't feel like he can take them to the end. He's putting on a fresh set of softs. Okay, there's no damage. I guess he must be experiencing some really rough wear if he thinks those hards are not going to take him to the end. Bit of a strategy gamble from Shaka. He's got 11 seconds to make up to Max in front of him. So
that's a lot, isn't it? But I mean, those softs will be pretty good for about 5-6 laps. And there's only 8 left, so we'll keep an eye on that gap to Max from Shaka. But I've got X Crystals here on the back straight. He is looking pretty tight towards this. He wants his P3 back, wants to recover.
Yeah, the gap between these two leg lap and Crystals has been very small for quite a while now. They've been going back and forth. Sending up the inside. And tries to keep it tight.
Oh, runs leg lap out wide there, so it gives him a bit taste of his own medicine. And X Crystals gets that move done. He's up to P3, so great recovery drive from X Crystals.
It gives leg lap DRS though. You might want to go back at him into turn 1.
Ooh,
he has a look up the inside.
Yeah, he kind of left the door open there, did X Crystals, but able to keep the move for now. Leglaf will be wanting to get that P3 back. Oh, and Leglaf almost losing it on traction. And look at this, Kebab is all over the back of Max right now. I think it's, I think he's going to go for a move on the inside here. Oh, and almost a bit of contact. And side by side out of the exit. Max getting a better exit. He's got that inside line as well now, but Kebab wants to make the most of these tires. He just cannot get past Max right now.
It's going to be really slowing him down, you'd think. On those fresh mediums behind a gun, old hards, he's going to be really ruining his chances, you'd think. He's got to try and find a way. Surely there's some way he can get past Max.
Yeah, this is the part here where Max getting very loose on the exit, but this is it. It's all about the exit onto this straight. If you can get a better exit than the guy in front, you're pretty much made for the move. And I think he's not too far back. He might put a challenge on. He's not got ERS. He's like 55%, so running pretty empty there, but no, doesn't go for the move this time around either.
He's drained all of his ERS just trying to keep up, because just a lap or two ago he had 80-odd%.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, you want to use it, obviously, but you want to save it at the same time, so it's like, you got to be smart.
It's like saving up potions in an RPG, isn't it? You never know when you're going to need it, so you just never use them.
Yeah, I usually end my races with like 3 laps over of fuel.
I found it harder to burn fuel in this game.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
It's maybe just because of constant safety cars.
Things settling down at the front. Looks like P1 to P3 is pretty solid. I mean, X Crystals is gaining time on P2, so we may see a late move for P2. Leglaf holding on to the back of X Crystals. Just maybe, let me have a look and see, is he harvesting his ERS? He is not. He's actually used quite a lot of it, so he's down on, he's pretty much empty as he comes off the exit of that long right-hander. And he's a good bit back already, 0.8, so he will gain some time with DRS, but not enough to try a move.
Yeah, Vinny's getting close to the end. It looks like we might have a three-long train very shortly if Vinny keeps this pace up.
Oh, Kebab! He gets a good run on Max there, but hits him in the back a little bit. A bit of a love tap, and on the exit, just loses it.
definitely
Yeah.
Bot. Looks like he's going to take full advantage of this. He's going to pressure him going into turn 1. Kebab locks up on the last corner. Definitely Bot looks like he's going to make it easy work of Kebab on that home straight. And there he goes into turn 1. Kebab tries a look at the inside.
Yeah, you have to be very trusting that the guy ahead is not going to close the door, because it can just cut you off at the last second there. I've experienced that
As
myself.
they sweep back inside. So I think the sort of perhaps optimal line that some drivers will take is they sort of sweep out wide and then they come in tighter once they shift down into third or second gear, and they get that extra rotation, as they say. They sort of cut back across the track and down the hill.
Gim Neighbor saying kebab was turned into shish kebab there, so plus rat points for puns. I love a good pun. But kebab, hold on to the back of Definitely Bot. I mean, that move or that incident is likely to cost him a good bunch of points in this race. He still might get a move done on Definitely Bot here. I don't know about getting back to P6, but up front, leg left, just about holding on to the back of X Crystal. The gap is around about 1 second, just under 1 second for now, so he does have DRS. But
Yeah.
and X Crystal not really making any inroads into that P2 position. I mean, the gaps went from just under 4 seconds to 3.2 with 4 laps left.
Yeah, well, this constant fighting is really, it's taken a toll on everyone's ERS from what I can see. I've scrolled through half a dozen players in the top group, and none of them have anything in the tank. They've all been just going at it. Something to think about perhaps for anyone watching who's got the race later on in the week. You know, try and keep it, look after it, and you may find some reward later on in the race when everyone's empty like this.
Neff Luke as well. I mean, I love the fact that we've got such a great community around SLR. Neff Luke, he is a guy I have a lot of respect for, and he has said in chat, BBEX from Q-ban to race win. That's something we never mentioned, but is indeed correct. BBEX started last.
Yeah, he had a race ban, yeah, quali ban.
And he's currently P1 and looking good for the win. I don't want to curse him. The way the commentator's curse is a real thing. It's a scientific fact. But yeah, he's looking pretty good. I'm going to check for penalties right now as we're approaching the end of the race.
It looks like it's been a very clean, medium hard strategy from him, I think.
Yeah, BBEX 2 warnings.
2 warnings, okay. The third one might get there.
Yeah,
Mehmet got anything?
Mehmet's got he's got 2 warnings, but also a penalty, so he has got 3 seconds.
That may be
X Crystal.
bacon potentially.
X Crystal has 0, nothing. Is nothing to his name. How?
Okay. Well, that's like that may get him up to P2 if he can hang within Mehmet's 3 seconds of Mehmet. That could be a big gain for Crystals.
Yeah, Legolas as well. He's got 3 seconds of time penalty. Vinny doesn't have any, so if he's able to close up a wee bit on. Did Vinny have an issue?
He must have had an
right?
incident. I didn't see it, but he's 4 seconds off now.
Just struggling a wee bit with his consistency is Vinny, but
Shaking
yeah,
off the rust, yeah.
If he can just tighten up that, just hold it together for these next 3 laps and close the gap to under 3 seconds, he will get P4. It looks like. Field is pretty well spread out at the minute. I mean, the closest gap we got here is P4 to P3. 3 laps left after this one.
Yeah, so we're getting into the final stages. So things are relatively settled. I can see definitely Bot, however. As Kebab's sort of failed attempts to overtake Max have passed, it looks like it's going to be definitely Bot's turn soon. He's pulling up on Max, 1.2 seconds now the gap. And Max is now on 22 lap old hards. He's got to be feeling it now. Definitely Bot will look to make short work of him, I'd imagine.
Yeah, are we going to see a puncture from Max? I don't know. I mean, looking at his wheel and the tire temps as he goes through turn 1 are just over 100, but yeah, I'm not sure what the tire wear is going to be. I mean, I think Game Neighbor was the one that said he should get to the end, but he'll have to take care of these tires, and we've definitely bought on his back right now. He's not going to be able to think about too much about his tire wear.
And I think it's the front left in particular. It's the single tyre that takes the most beating around here, from what I've seen. And it's often 10% more wear on that specific tyre than any of the other three. And it only takes one puncture to really ruin your race. So I might have to be a bit careful in these last laps.
A few time penalties coming from up there. Philo and Bejeluk, P13, P15, so not really going to affect their final standing too much. As definitely Bot looking to get a really good exit. It looks like he did get a sweet exit from that last from the last corner. Yeah,
he's really gaining on Max, only 3/10 now, and he gets the DRS. It's maybe in sending range.
I think so. Yeah, and he pulls out. He looks for it, but he holds off for now.
Max out.
He has slightly more ERS in the tank than Max. Pretty marginal though between both of them. Probably trying to force Max into an error, and then if he can't get it done, maybe final lap send. Oh, and he might be close enough here. No. Oh, and is he going to go up the inside? Yeah, that's so tentative here. He doesn't want to throw away his race right now when he's done so well to recover from that first incident he had earlier in the race. And Kebab as well has benefited from this fight for definitely Bot and Max, because he is given DRS range himself now.
Maybe he can take advantage of the two and make a nice jump. We'll see. This is the second to last lap, so it's all coming to play.
And definitely Bot is almost pushing Max through these corners. I mean, Max is going to be feeling a lot of heat there. Max on the 24 lap old hards. I mean, surely definitely Bot's going to get a better exit on traction here from this long right-hander.
And he's
Max
so
going
close.
out wide.
He's got it.
Yeah, he's going to get this. He has to get this moved on now. Not much Max can do.
He's got the DRS. Flicks the wing open. Sort of sails past him.
And behind you can see Kebabs watching this and going, why couldn't I do that? That's exactly what I needed to do a few laps ago.
Yeah, maybe it's something wing related. Maybe Kebab has quite high wings. He just can't get that straight line speed to make the overtakes.
So I think definitely Bot has got the pace. Oh, he gets a wheel in the dirt and almost got spat out wide there. So that was a bit of a hairy moment. And we've got a yellow flag, sector 1, sector 2.
I think everyone's on track. I think they've just a bit of a slowdown from that pack in front, leg laugh. 0.6. It would have been the Red Bull Elementrix there slowing down for the blue flags.
Yeah, and Kebab, this is his last chance to get past Max. He's made up the time. Definitely Bot got past him. Can Kebab get past Max? Oh, and Kebab getting pretty wide, getting his line wrong for the fast chicane here, but still holding on to the back of Max, who looks to be struggling quite a bit. But I think Kebab maybe he's struggling under this dirty air. He's running quite close. Max on the curb there, keeps control of the car, and this is his last chance.
Oh, it's a huge
again,
lockup.
too eager. Yeah, he's too eager on that braking zone. Tries to brake it to the last second. Locks up, and he's dropped off a good bit from Max. Max
on the exit.
Yeah,
it's going to be too much, I think.
It's going to be. Oh, and we've got leg laugh as well. He's quite close to Extra Sills, but I think Extra Sills,
race. Who will be on that podium?
Ooh.
Oh, and no change thanks to penalties. Vinny overtakes Leglaf for P4, so we've got Bebix, the race winner, Mehmet TV in second place, and Crystal's rounding out the podium.
Oh, Kebab's had a moment. It must have been into the hairpin.
Oh, the second we look away.
I know, that's it. But I just saw him recovering there, so he's going to keep the P8 position for this one.
Oh wow, he's only 1.5 seconds off Max. Penalties would have had him. He didn't even need to
man.
overtake him.
Oh man, he's gonna be gutted. But look at this, P10. We've got P9. Edward crosses the line, P9. But we've got Vance getting P10, that coveted gammon position. P10 for Van,
right
nicely
him.
done.
Oh, no.
Oh, Max gets it, and his return race just pips him to the post.
gammon.
Oh, we'll have to get a chat with Max. Oh, what a drive from him. His return to F1 2020. He gets the P10 position. Wow, what a job from Max.
That's P12 for Shaka, whose soft tyre gamble clearly didn't work to the way he intended it. He sort of caught on to Vans there, only 2 seconds back, but it's just not enough laps in the race.
Yeah, I'm
got to wonder if he made the right decision.
Very surprised to see that from Shaka. I mean, he's pretty consistent driver. I don't know what issues he was having in that race, but P12, he's definitely could have points today if he played his cards right. But it is what it is, and Bebex from last position gets the win. That's going to feel like a good one for him.
The Codemasters sponsored driver of the day. Do you have any thoughts? I mean, I can't. It's hard to imagine anyone different, really. You got to think Codemasters might have got it right for once.
Yeah, that's it. I think yeah, we'll give it the Codemasters driver of the day.
Codemasters approved. Congratulations, Bebex. There is our final standing. You see Bebex from P16 to P1. Mehmet from P13. A brilliant race from him, but unfortunately for him, Bebex was also racing today. Crystals started on pole, finishing P3. Got Vinny P4, Leglaf P5, definitely Bot P6. Nice recovery after that early incident. Max from P17, that's a good drive. Kebab P8, started P8, solid, consistent. That's what you want. Kebab, I think, does a few credits. I think he, after the incidents he's been having recently, I think he was relatively clean. He kept, he didn't lose it. Didn't lose it on his own accord, as far as I can remember. Edward P9, Max of course taking the coveted P10, Van beats in P11, Shaka P12, XTX P13, Yellowlook P14, Philox TT's P15, Elementrix P16, and Nico with the DNF P17.
Yeah, good job to all the drivers. I think we only had one DNF, I believe. Is that right?
Yeah, I think it's just Nico.
Yeah, Nico was struggling big time there, but decided to retire the car as he was struggling in the middle of the race. But it's worth mentioning as well, X-Crystals, It's Just Vinny, and Leglaf, they all had those drive-through penalties. How different it could have been if they avoided that drive-through. And sure, we'll get a chat with some of them to see what their take is on that as we head to the interview booth. Let's see who we got waiting here. Yeah, so we've actually got the Alpha here. The only people I actually see in VC right now, so we'll bring them both in together here. Got Kebab, and we've got Shakalaka. Hello, guys. You're joining us live on stream, so whatever stuff you were talking about there, just make sure it's PG friendly for the EGL stream. I think we'll talk to Kebab first. I mean, you had a pretty decent performance there. Definitely, I mean, I was talking a wee bit about we had a race earlier in the week there at 2SRL you were in. You were struggling a bit just to keep the control of the car, and we're talking about the setup and how that played a part there. You had a new setup for today, and how did it go from your point of view?
Pretty well, actually. Yeah, it's a very stable setup. Absolute genius gave it to me. Yeah, that was the aim of the game today, kind of thing. It's just to kind of like have a steady race, like sacrifice some pace, which I've kind of showed I've got in the past, for some stability and things, kind of thing. And yeah, if I'd have maybe gone to soft hard, I might have won that, because I think I had a beating of Bebex out when I was out in front of her. So yeah, like seemed to go a bit better, but I think I was missing a fair bit of pace from the previous setup I was using, TT setup.
Yeah, it's good to see, man. And the other thing I wanted to ask you about was that two-stop strategy. What made you go for that two-stopper?
Simply because Jack was going for the one-stop and we didn't want to pit at the same time. So I didn't want to take the softs to lap 7, and I didn't want to pit on the softs from soft to hard on lap 5 either. So it was just kind of like necessity for the team, really. But I'm not too fussed. Like, you know, I got a decent showing and I had a good battle with Max. I couldn't get, if I had got past Max, maybe I'd have kind of pushed on ahead, but I couldn't get past him. He was too good. So kudos to him, man.
Yeah, you give us some good battles on screen there. Yeah, you had two real chances for Max that first time. Just couldn't get it done, and then the second time there in the final lap, we just caught the recovery from that hairpin. I mean, what was that? Just lost it on the throttle, or?
Well, I couldn't catch up to him on the straight at all, so I kind of had to make something happen through the corners, and it was the last lap, so I thought final few corners, time to eat it. So I kind of went in behind him on the corner kind of thing, and I just tried to get a better exit, but on the inside, so I could take an outside line for the next corner. Because I thought if I run wide, I don't get a penalty because I only had the one warning on the next corner. But I just too overeager on the throttle to try and get it, and I didn't have the traction there, so it just kind of snapped away from me, and I hit the wall. But thankfully, it didn't cost me anything. But I thought I had to go for it. There's nobody within a mile of us behind us, so I have to go for it. Didn't work out.
Yeah, unfortunately, but I mean, you have to. It's the last lap. If you're going to send it, that's the time to do it. What's the other thing I wanted to speak to you about? No, I think, like, you know, just from my point of view, watching you, I think maybe it's just a confidence thing, but it seemed like, you know, in certain corners you were taking it a bit too cautiously. I know, like, the final corner was specifically was when I saw you going through there a wee bit tentatively, and I think maybe lost a little bit of pace. Is that just about confidence on this track, or?
I think it was confidence on the track from yesterday. I think I was just wanting to kind of the aim of the game, as I said at the beginning of the day, was to just have a nice clean race. Like I was supposed to do that yesterday. That didn't happen. I got disqualified and I had a couple of incidents. And I'm trying to my best to avoid some of these incidents because, as you can see from the tape, if you avoid the incidents, you just carry home points if you've got a decent pace. So I'm trying to find that balance now between the safety and the pace. So I need to kind of like, now that I've found the safety, now I can start working on the pace a bit more and kind of tweaking things with the setup and driving style and pushing it a bit more. But not too much, otherwise I start getting the incidents again, you know? It's a fine balance.
That's it, exactly. And Shakalak, you're the teammate of Kebab there.
Yeah.
I have to say, man, I was surprised that you got P12 there. You know, I thought you were going to do pretty well in this race, judging by how you performed in the 2 SRL Tier 3 race. What went wrong? Like, what was up during the race there?
Yeah, basically, how to say, like, I messed up somehow my setup because I didn't save it, and I thought I did, and then I don't know what did I do, but the car was extremely slow today. I was understeering basically in every corner, and I had no speed in the straight. Absolutely no top speed. So yeah, I don't know. I was just dropping like bricks, you know. It was terrible. I tried to go at the end because I was at some point I was P10, but the guys behind were catching me. Like everybody was just passing me, and I thought like, okay, I'm just gonna go to the pits, lower the wing maybe, and try the softs till the end. I got some pace there, but it was just not enough. Yeah, that's it. Just a bad race, you know. Like I don't know. I didn't have any pace in the car. Really strange.
Yeah, I hate that feeling, you know, of just going backwards in a race. But at least you can kind of put it down to setup and not actually just lack of pace. Because, like I say, in the 2 SRL Tier 3 race, you definitely had a good bit of pace, and you can see that you were able to fight guys on track. Whereas this one, it seemed like you were conceding positions. You were just like, listen, I'll just let this guy go because I don't have the pace right now to hold him.
Not really. I mean, on the back straight, yes. When they just pass flying, what can I do? But I did try to defend some positions, but I just didn't have it. So the car just wouldn't grip at all. I don't know what happened just that day.
Oh well, we live and learn. It's another one you can chalk down to track experience, and it's yeah. I don't know what happened with the setup thing there, but I know whenever I load into a race, sometimes I just hit the wrong button, and I'm like, oh no, I've just locked into a default setup or something stupid.
No, this time it wasn't that, because actually, I mean, if it would be the default setup, probably was better. I just didn't save my setup, and then I tried to remember, but I got something wrong for sure. That just didn't combine with each other, you know.
Yeah, and you guys are in the same team, so how's that working out? Are you find you enjoying being teammates, or is there a bit of a rivalry going here?
No, he's great. He's great.
No, no rivalry. We're very much on the same side, to be fair. We both know that we're similar on pace and racecraft kind of thing if you combine all of our attributes together. So we know we should be finishing around where each other are finishing. And we're just trying to push each other as far as we can go, you know?
Yeah,
Up the grid. But
I think it makes a whole difference. You know, even when you're in VC together and you know get that communication and yeah, I think it adds to the experience. You know, even if you don't do well, you can help out your teammate maybe with a bit of intel and stuff. And
yeah,
obviously during the race, practicing and stuff, just getting a wee bit of extra, just extra input into stuff is makes a little difference. I think.
it's always nice to have one less person to fight on the track as well.
yeah, definitely.
Okay, guys. Well, hopefully we're going to Zandvoort next week. What do you reckon? You guys looking forward to that one?
Not really done any practice or really tested the track out much, to be honest. I've only done a couple of 5 laps at it, so I'm looking forward to it. It looks quite a fun track, flowy, very flowing track. I like it. But we'll see. Wait and see what the pace is like for the rest of the grid, really, because it's that matters.
Yeah, same. I mean, I don't like the track. It's really nice, but I just don't know because I did it a few like at the very beginning when the game came out, and I don't know really how I compare with the other ones. So we'll see.
Yeah, it'll be interesting because Tier 4 will be the first SLR race at Zandvoort, and I'm interested to see how it goes because it is, apart from the start-finish straight, it looks like quite a tight track and it'd be quite hard to pass on, I think. So could see a fair share of incidents on that one. And Shaq, I know you in particular are someone who benefits from the mistakes of others. You're very consistent, you know, and you just have your head down, a lot of focus, and you can benefit greatly from that. So yeah, I look forward to seeing you guys on track next week again. But thanks again for joining us on the stream. We're going to move over now to some of the guys who finished higher up the grid. We've got Mehmet TV in here. I'm actually going to bring Max in. I mean, Max Stilts is joining us on stream. He's warned me that his mic might not be great here, but I mean, you finished P10. You finished P10. That's my spot, man. I mean, anyone who finishes P10 gets my massive respect from myself. Yeah, just give us your take. It was your return to league racing for F1 2020. Yeah. How'd it go?
No, yeah, basically that's been 2 months. Yeah, not gonna dwell too much on private life, but as I told you, I had a lot of stuff for work to do and to concentrate on, and I couldn't bother anymore with league racing. So yeah, first retry, but I felt quite rusty, to be honest. I mean, like the fact that during the VSC I completely forgot checking my speed compared to the delta time stuff from FIA. So I had a drive-through and got a bit not unread, but I was a bit unsettled, especially because I was like P11 at P12 at the start, then P6, then P1. I was like, what? And then everybody started to catch me right after the drive-through because my tires were dead. And then it was just I saw Chaka behind me. And I was like, hey, I remember you from tier 1. I remember you, so I'm gonna stay in front of you. And I tried to catch Van, and I knew that he had a 3-second penalty. So my goal was not really to get the P10, but more like staying in a good zone from Chaka, basically. Because I don't know if he was also using no assist, but I was like, yeah, that's a good reference point to make a comeback in league racing, basically.
Yeah, Shaq is no assist. Yeah, I mean that's a great return for you. I mean it is tier 4, but you're using no assists. All these guys around you, most of them anyway, are using assists, and it's good to see you jump back in and get points in your first race.
Yeah, no, I have to say, like, well, again, just on a funny note, not to be mean at all, but during the qualifying session, I did look at the other drivers. I was like, who is using assist? And I look at the car. I was like, oh, I'm not breaking back late. I was like, yeah, okay, I'm not gonna do great compared to those guys. But anyway, no, I mean, yeah, I was quite impressed by the skill level, basically. So, I mean, even if you could say, yeah, it's tier 4, and I was like, whoa, they are going fast.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I mean, you always have that in your head. You can be like, yeah, but these guys are on assists. You know, it's going to be easier for them.
Absolutely not. You have to at the same time, people keep saying that using no assist is basically improving yourself more than just improving on the game. And since I'm still too slow compared to even the guy in tier 4, that means that I still have a lot to gain and to improve on. But yeah.
Yeah, we know you are usually on tier 2 commentary role. I saw a comment from Satoshi, and I think it was Satoshi, and he was saying that he wants to hear you back on the comms again. So I mean, I don't mean to put you on the spot or anything, but I mean, what's that look like?
Chief, I thought we settled this in private. I told you you will send me some invoice, to pay the bill. You use my French voice. I thought. I'm kidding. No, no. To be honest, I did say that it wasn't yet the time for me to. Yeah, seems a bit exhausting compared to the rest of the thing I have to do at work, and plus COVID and it and yeah, I said COVID, so your YouTube video will be demonetized if you want.
Thanks for that.
but, but yeah, due to all of that, yeah, not before September, I think. I mean, maybe before, but I don't feel yet ready for it.
Yeah, I mean that's what it's all about. You want to get the right balance. You don't want to be doing something that if it feels like a chore, you want to do it, because you have the time to do it, and it's a bit of a pleasure to do. But I mean, I just want to pull you on that payment invoice joke. There is actually something in the post as we speak to you. I think
Yes,
maybe you've
I know.
been speaking to Wimpy. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know what's taking them for so long, but I expect any day now you're gonna
France,
get that.
correct. The delivery.
Okay, Max.
To be French, but not cheap.
Are we going to see you on the tier 4 grid in future, do you think, or is this a one-off?
I did ask, sorry, who was it again? I think it's Joel. Yeah.
Joel, yeah.
Yeah. I said I was interested to become a tier 4 driver for now. And he just say, just try. So I tried. So yeah.
Yeah, I know tier 4 has a few vacant seats, so I can't see any issue with that. And I know you're quite popular in the community as well, so it'd be good to see you on track fighting it out for that P10 and beyond. You've got you set off P10, so it's onwards and upwards, man.
Already half of the point I did got in tier 1. Yay!
Oh man, right. Well, I'm gonna throw you back into gentlemen's lunch. Thanks for joining us on the stream, and good job on the race, man. That was good to see you getting the points there.
Yeah, thank you.
Last but not least, in front of we've got Mehmet TV. He's currently muted. Oh, hoping that he realizes. Yeah, there he is. In front of. If you want to take this one. Oh, we're just so welcome you onto the stream here. It's myself and Inferno here. I just want to have a wee chat about your race.
So it's a good race. You finished on the podium. How did it go?
I don't know. It was a good race, but I'm a bit gutted because I could get P1, I guess. In the start, it was pretty messy. I had to avoid like 2 crashes by going off, and also in turn 2, someone pushed me off, and I got a severe collision penalty. Someone pushed me off, and I got a penalty for 5 seconds, and I had to serve it in the pits. And I mean, BBX was faster than me, I think, after the pit stops. But if I didn't have the penalty, I would come out in front. And yeah, I think in this game, dirty air matters pretty much. So maybe I could keep that lead. But
Yeah, I think
who
that was
knows?
something Chief mentioned on stream about the dirty air. It's especially
Yeah,
around a track like China, because we think it's very difficult to gain traction, isn't it, at a lot of the corners. So if you've
yeah,
got to deal with dirty air as well, it makes it twice as hard.
yeah, exactly. Especially in the after, I don't know the turn names, but this left-hander, which is flat. But in dirty air, you cannot. I cannot take it flat. I don't know why I was struggling there. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
think
I mean,
I know the one.
I don't know. Just like it's really hard to gauge in this game if, for example, a track like in China, if it's good to start on softs or mediums, because medium is a better strategy. But when you start
Yeah,
on mediums, you're in dirty air and you're in the carnage at the start. So
yeah, it's always hard, isn't it? Because you've got to take into account what everyone else is doing. And if everyone's qualifying on softs to try and get as high up the grid as you can, if you try and qualify on mediums, you're not going to be competitive in qualifying.
exactly. But I did that because my soft run in the end, I was just 1 second up, and that would put me P6. And I'm really struggling with tire wear, so I thought, okay, I just back off and yeah, started with
Yeah,
mediums. In the end, I guess it worked P2, and yeah,
yeah, I think sounds like it worked overall. I mean, you had that unfortunate incident, but I
yeah,
think if we said before the race you'd get P2, you'd probably be quite happy with that.
yeah, I would take it. I mean, especially also in this situation because the guys who are in front of me or who are near me at in the championship was behind me. So
Yeah,
yeah, it
yeah, I
was a good
know.
race in the end.
I think Ace Boy's second, and he wasn't here today.
Yes, exactly.
And definitely was involved in that lap one incident as well. He went off the track, so he had
Yeah,
to pit early, and he fell quite far down the order.
yeah,
So it's a
yeah,
good race for you in the championship for sure.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I'm happy. Yeah. But
Yeah,
still, there's an inkling.
yeah. It's that little niggle. You think, oh,
Yeah,
if only that didn't happen, I would have
exactly,
won.
exactly. But I mean, who knows? Maybe Bebix would pass me
Yeah,
anyway with
yeah.
DRS. But
You can never
yeah,
say for sure, can you? It's
yeah,
always,
exactly,
yeah.
exactly.
There's always something every race where you think, if only this didn't happen. But
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
racing.
yeah, exactly, exactly.
So how you feeling about next week then? Have you done any driving rounds, Zandvoort?
I really like. I think it's my favorite circuit. Not in terms of that I'm fast there, but in terms of the circuit itself. It's extremely fast, and I really like it. Like just all the corners coming up to you so quickly. I really like the circuit, but let's see how it goes. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know if I'm fast or not there. So let's
one to
see.
watch then. Keep an eye on
Yeah,
you next week.
yeah.
Good to hear from you. Okay. Anything else you'd like to add, Chief?
Yeah,
No.
I wanna ask you,
Yeah,
how do you pronounce your name? Like, I think I
Mehmet.
butcher it.
Mehmet.
Mehmet. It's
Yeah,
not
Mehmet.
Mehmet TV, no.
No. Mehmet is my name, like real name in real life, and V is just the beginning of like the first letter of my surname. So it's not Mehmet TV, but yeah, it's okay. It's okay if you cannot pronounce it.
I thought it was you promoting your stream or something.
No,
Mehmet
no, no,
TV.
no. I'm not doing streaming, so it's just my
Uh,
name and the first letter of my surname.
that's good. That's
Yeah,
good to know. Although it's now ingrained in my head that you're called Mehmet TV, so I might still continue to butcher your
yeah.
name on stream as I
It's
do
okay.
for so many other drivers. But
And
yeah,
like
yeah, good.
my friends watch the stream as well sometimes, and also they started to call me Mehmet TV now to make fun. Yeah, so I'm used to it by now.
Yeah, I saw in chat there was some supporters saying, "Yeah, Mehmet TV, the champ is coming, real legend, the goat." So
Yeah,
yeah, you've got a lot to live up to with your fans here, you know. But I mean, yeah, anything can happen over the course of a season,
exactly.
and the championship's up for grabs. So good job on that P2 today, man.
Thank
That was
you.
good to watch, good to
Thank you.
call.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'll move you back into the gentleman's lounge. Thanks for joining us on stream. And I think that wraps it up for now. I mean, we do have it's the start of the week for SLR league racing. We've got, let's see, tier 3 tomorrow, tier 2 Friday, and then a big one, tier 1 on Saturday, and then 2 SRL takeover on Sunday with Tier 2 and Tier 1 races. So all that to look forward to. But Inferno, that was a good stream. I enjoyed doing that, calling comms with you.
I had a good
Looked,
time.
it looked good. We had a bit of a last minute rush to get everything set up, but yeah, it worked out all right.
Yeah, I didn't press any buttons that I shouldn't have pressed. I don't think I did have an issue with the Steam over, the in-game overlay where you get people. Oh, so and so has started playing Dota 2 or something. It kept popping up. I had it turned off. I don't know why they were kept showing up. Like, yeah, I don't know, but nothing I can do about that, I suppose.
Yeah, always something to improve on. I mean, if you look back at some of my initial streams, you'll be like, yeah, I did okay. I've had streams where I've like been talking for 5 minutes and then someone says in chat, yeah, I can't hear anyone.
Yeah, I was hoping that chat wasn't saying anything bad because I couldn't see chat, so I was just hoping for the best, really. So.
Oh yeah, chat will keep you right. It's good to have it on your phone or something, just
yeah, that's a good idea because I had the Streamlabs on my second monitor.
Yeah, so Tier 3 tomorrow, as I say, it'll be the same time at 1900 CEST. We've got Wimpy and Van on the comms. So join us tomorrow for that, ladies and gentlemen, and thanks everybody for watching. Goodbye.
Yeah, goodbye.